up on science.
Okay, it's a dark night. The scene appears peaceful, but in actuality, there is a horrific murder going on. Who will investigate it? It's CSI Space. It's Pete Kuzma.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone. That's a bit of an ominous start, wasn't it? It's going to get dark, okay? So, there's something about going first for this kind of events that I like to go a little bit later to try and gauge how the audience is. How are other people performing at these kind of events? See, I've done one of these before. It's called Nerd Night, if you've heard of that, in Wagga. And over there, I decided to be a bit more liberal. It was the first time I was going to get out of the academic scene to talk a bit about astronomy. So I went a bit overboard with it, and at the end of it I was labelled the swearing astronomer. And so I was a bit worried about how exactly whether I could push that envelope here tonight. I heard what Crus said, so fuck it, let's go. Alright, so the Milky Way is a very interesting object. You know, for many, many years humans have looked up at the sky and they've seen this wash of light across the sky, and they've used it for many different parts of their life, whether it be agriculture, using it for theology or their deities, or artists looking at it for inspiration or romance, you know, like turning to a partner and saying that their eyes shine brighter than any star out there, or telling your friend how fat their mother is. And so you may think that the Milky Way is quite a lovely place. Well, here to tell you that the Milky Way is actually a fucking terrible place. Alright, and I'll tell you why. At the centre of our Milky Way, of our galaxy, is a black hole, which is terrifying in its own right. And you can see that if you look at what is actually going on in the centre of our galaxy, stars are moving around quite a lot. And as you drift further and further and further and further away from the centre of our galaxy, stars slow down. There is less stars out there. So anything that kind of happens at the furthest reaches of our galaxy kind of stay that way for a long, long period of time. So that gives you a perfect opportunity to explore just what happened at the early stages of the Milky Way. Now, out there are just individual stars and star clusters, and they all kind of look the same, of simple stellar, what we call a simple stellar population. They all walk and talk the same, born at the same time, you know? And then you look at some and you're like, that one looks slightly different. That looks like the core of a dwarf galaxy. That looks like the core of a dwarf galaxy.
Wow.
Try it again. That looks like the core of a dwarf galaxy. Right? Something's amiss. And when you start to explore the vicinity of this core, it becomes apparent that something malice has happened out there. So I'm going to paint you a picture. You are a dwarf galaxy, floating through space without a care in the world, passing by the Andromeda galaxy in the Milky Way. You wave to these galaxies that are about 1,000 times bigger than you are. And if you ever know anything about laws of motion, it's that something in motion stays in motion unless there's an initial force that applies to it. So if you're floating through space, you can kind of move, and then you'd start to feel this pull on you, and you'd start to deviate, and you're starting to struggle to keep yourself together. Your stars, your dust, your gas, you can feel it pulling apart. You turn around and you see the Milky Way with these hungry eyes, and you get torn apart. The galaxy shreds you, taking all your blood, your viscera, dust and gas, away from you, and stretches you beyond recognition. And eventually, over time, you would disappear, with only the core been able to survive because its internal gravity and its resolve can keep it together longer than the Milky Way can. Now, so then what am I telling you? The Milky Way is a fucking cannibal, and you shouldn't praise it this way. And it's not just the Milky Way, all right? Our nearest spiral galaxy, Andromeda, littered with the carcasses of dwarf galaxies. All right? It's not a nice place. But it's okay, all right? As humans, we can't do anything about it. All we can do is look up and see these carcasses, these just completely eaten galaxies, and the Milky Way just has it on, just shows it, it's like, as if it's proud, as if to say, what can you do about it? Well, we can hold our heads high, because we know that this galaxy will meet its end. When it's going to get tired of eating small dwarfs, galaxies, you know? It's currently eyeing off Andromeda. And Andromeda is eyeing off the Milky Way. In 4 billion years, these two will fight. These two will collide. And in massive flashes of violence, blood, gas and dust will collide. And for 1 million years, 100 million years or so, hot blue stars will appear during this interaction. But eventually those stars will die out. And these galaxies will have no fight left in them. No more new stars being formed. Just a sea of red dwarfs. And this galaxy then will have no more stars, nothing left. It will just slowly bleed away, disappearing. So, it's okay. We may live with a cannibal inside a cannibal, but it will get its just desserts. Thank you very much.
Fill up on science.